everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here with the paper pumpkin for this month. Now remember, these were to be connected between October and November. So let's open this up. Yes, I do know what's already in here. I did peek. But I love the boxes. You know, for anybody that did subscribe to this, keep the boxes. I keep them to store my stuff. So with the items that came with this, they are cute. I really like them, and I can see how they can tie together, but they didn't tie together, or they weren't what I thought they were going to be. But this is the stamp set that comes in. It's a really pretty font for the Let It Snow and the Joy, Merry and Bright. You've got a snowflake, a star. You can make some tags with the to and from, some little tiny leaves, and the Christmas tree. It comes with a Dapper Denim stamp cube, and this is the project. So remember, Paper Pumpkin's not just cards. It's also some home decor items. You can see my hands going back and forth there. And that's what these can be. You could make these home decor items. It does come with 10 that you can make. So you can make a really cute garland. I actually make those garlands in one of my shops that I have. But let's open this up and let's see what's all inside. So of course you always get the directions on how you can put your monthly project together. Shows you the details on the back. And then on the inside, it's in black and white, but it goes step by step on how to put these together. I always keep that chipboard. Never throw that away. They give you some glue dots, some little tiny clothespins, which I can never work. They're so tiny. Some die-cut banners in a beautiful red. These are country colors. You get some greenery, we'll call it. Little tiny sprigs of greenery, and you get a lot of these. You get 2 sheets of each of these die cuts in the kit, so I'm just showing one of the sheets. You get some plain white banners, which are a little bit wider than the red, and then you also get a sheet of the white banners with the gold embossing already on it of the tree that I'm showing here. And again, you get 2 sheets, and then you also get a die cut with the snowflake on the top. And of course, this time I show you the 2 sheets. And then you get these stockings. They're already sewn together. You do need to, you want to turn them inside out, which is what I'm going to do now. And then once you turn it inside out to have its form of the stocking, you're going to fold down the top so that the plaid shows along the top for the top of the stocking, if that makes sense. And I'm sure I'm going to show you that here. I actually did that not realizing that one of them was already turned over. So these are really cute. I was really stumped when I first opened this. I'll be honest. I wasn't quite sure how these were tying together, where they were going with it. I know they had something on Facebook regarding this, and of course I missed that. But you know, as I continue to look at this and I'm doing the voiceover, these are great little tiny pouches. So you could pair one of these up with one of your cards. If you have the previous card kit, you can put a gift card in here. You can, what I would like is stuff it with some candy. Who doesn't like candy? Some candy canes. If you have a small gift for somebody, like a pair of earrings, or maybe just a small trinket, or maybe you were real, you know, in a real fast pace, invited somewhere, and you're just not sure, you don't have a gift, this would be something perfect, you know, to put a little tiny ornament in it. Or something like that. If you're that person that can never go somewhere empty-handed, yeah, you know me, guys. I'm one of those people. But you could see my hands are, you know, they're wiggling and they're thinking, and wasn't quite sure. But as I'm doing this voiceover, there's ideas that are coming. You can keep them separate from your cards, as I said. Make a garland, whether it's along your TV or a fireplace, or you could make your own ornaments out of these as well. If you don't do the stockings, then you could have these little stockings hanging on the tree for your family. So let's put the project together. So I grabbed 2 stockings, 4 sprigs of greenery, 2 clips, and 2 red banners. And we're going to stamp our first sentiment, the Let It Snow, using the Dapper Denim. Now, one thing that I do find that I have to do with the Stampin' Up! Stamps in this set is they do have to be treated, and I did not treat it, and I did that specifically. I want to show you, give you a little tiny tip if you don't already know how you can treat your clear stamps. Now this one's the Merry and Bright, and as I'm stamping this, you really can't see it. I should have zoomed in, but you can see the snow has some white spots. The ink is actually pulling on top of the stamp, and I'm looking at that when it comes to this. So I'm a big white eraser person. So if you just take that and lightly rub across your stamp, whether it's the Stampin' Up! Or the Recollections from Michaels, or the stamps that you get from either the AC Moore or Michaels, that will give it a base. You could use also Versamark ink, but I do like the effect of what the white eraser does. And you can see you get a beautiful solid impression with the Merry and Bright, and the Let It Snow is just a little bit spotty because, again, that ink does pull up on top of that. So a little bit of a tidbit, if you didn't already know that, white erasers. It does not ruin your stamps either, so don't think that it does that. So let's compile these. I'm just playing around with the greenery and how I want to position it on my tag or on my banners. So I'm going to put one to the back and just glue that in place, and then I'm going to place the other towards the front. Again, kind of gives its own dimension, and then we're just going to secure that in place as well. Now, you all get to laugh at this part because if any of you have seen my videos before, I cannot tie a bow to save the life of me. This is one way that I make the attempt to tie the bow. And you can see there's a lot that I cut out of this because if I didn't, we would be here all night. And it should be a live event, so y'all can ask me some questions. So I finally do get that set in record time. And I'm going to use a glue dot. Now, again, they do give you glue dots. I just grabbed for mine out of habit. And I'm going to place the bow in position at the top, which also helps me set the bow part to make it lay flat and not be twisted. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the top of the white banner so that I can adhere the backing, the red banner for the back. We just simply adhere this with one of those paper clips, and I'm going to trim the ends. And that's the first one. And again, the second one was put together the same way, so I didn't want to show this. Now, this is the other way that I tied the bow. So I strung the thread through the clothespin, attached it to the piece. Here again, I flip it upside down because that's how I tie a bow when I'm adhering it onto something, because the tails then fall the way that they should. I'm not sure. If any of you have to do that, let me know. Please let me know I'm not alone on this, because I am just horrible with bows. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this way, the bow's actually attached to the clip. You see a little bit more of the bow. I think it is a better setting. It looks a little better anyway. So that's the project. So here's my alternative. This was, I don't know, I knew where I was going, but I pulled items from this kit for the November, and I pulled, since they were supposed to be linked, I pulled items from the previous. So I pulled one of the card bases from the October kit, and I'm just cutting a section out of it, like pattern paper. Yes, one of my simplicity videos are coming out. And I'm going to trim this down, and then I'm going to create a long banner with this. I'm going to notch out the bottom portion to give me my banner, and that's going to run along the side there. I grabbed one of the red die cut banners, and I grabbed one of the gold flags from the previous kit because it's already in a banner shape, and I'm going to apply some foam squares down the one side. I always flip up the ends. Again, we like to have dimensions. We can make things flat. I'm just not one to keep things flat. It's difficult. So I'm going to adhere that right down onto my card panel. I know, no wonky die. I know. And no card panel. Design panel, what I call the card design panel to put down. I'm actually going to work straight onto the cardstock. That card base also is a 4 1/4, 5 1/2 top folding that I did get from my stash. So I applied the gold to the top, and now I'm using one of the circles from the previous kit as well, and one of the backgrounds for the shaker with the snowflakes. And I'm using the smaller circle, and I just drew that around, not using a die. Drew around it, and now I'm going to cut that out because I wanted the snowflakes on the back of that. And then I'm just using the ink pad, just like we would with a marker. You know, after sometimes when we fussy cut something, we take a black marker around the edges just to finish it off. That's kind of what I did with the ink pad. This is an easier piece to do that with. And I'm going to use the sentiment, "Let It Snow." I just love that sentiment. I hate snow on my roof, but I love the sentiment, "Let it snow." And this script is absolutely beautiful. I love the way the tails come off each end of the snow. I grabbed the snowflake die, and what's the beauty of any inks that we have, you actually have 3 shades with a dye ink. The original stamp, you have what's a 2nd generation, and you can also have a 3rd generation. So the first stamp, of course, is the first, or if you ink it, stamp it off on paper, then go to your piece, that's your 2nd. And then if you immediately stamp again without re-inking, that would be your 3rd. So you actually get, believe it or not, 3 shades from one of your ink cubes. So keep that in mind too if you're looking for different shades of that one color, and if you don't have a large stash of dye inks. So I placed the circle down onto the card, and I marked the top because I came up with this idea. Yeah. So my idea is to cut a hole in the card base so that I'm going to use one of the small clothespins. And if I called it a paper clip before, sorry. So that it'll sit on the inside and sit on the outside. So on the outside, it's going to hold the "Let It Snow." So this is kind of like an interactive card of what I was thinking. So yeah, this took me forever to cut it. So we have that slit there. So right now it's holding my clothespin in there, and I'm going to make the "Let It Snow." Remember, in the stamp set we had a to and a from stamp, so we can make gift tags. I love making gift tags. So making that, again, yeah, did you see the inside of that with the ink? Yeah, this card went downhill quick, but we kept on going. We did not stop. So you can see it's holding it there. So if somebody wanted to take that off and use it as a gift tag, they could. So in a way, it's interactive. And on the inside, you could put a gift card with the clothespin or anything else you would like. So a little bit of movement going on there. So here's where I'm going to make the gift tag, because I was playing around, you know, making sure that it wasn't going to fall out. I paused because I didn't try every way possible, and you will see that. That this it doesn't work. See, watch. Whoop, and there it goes. Yeah. It's a little bit of sound effect going on there. So that just was not going to work for me. Now I've got this gaping hole in my card, and I've got all this ink. I have no idea how I got the ink on the inside. So we're going to add some foam squares to the circle panel. We don't give up. We keep going. We're going to set that in place. I want to put it up underneath the banner. So now that covers up the hole on the outside. Now I'm going to use another section from that card panel. Look at all that ink I got in there. I have no idea how I did that. Wow. But I did. This is absolutely hysterical. It absolutely kills me here. So I'm going to grab some of those greeneries. So just like we did with the stockings, with the greeneries on top of the banner, that's kind of what I'm going to do with my circle. That's now no longer a gift tag, but rather a focal point on our card that is permanently affixed, covering up the hole. So we're just going to straggle them there, and we're going to glue those in place. Again, I always use my art glitter glue. I get mine from Amazon, or May made it. She usually has some really great deals and has huge bottles of it so that you can refill. So I'm going to cut off a piece of string, and I'm going to tie it onto the clothespin. I believe I cut some of this out because, again, nobody needs to watch me tie a bow. It is absolutely horrible. There should be a class specifically on for this. I know there's videos on YouTube. And that's the front. I think it looks really cute. Kind of looks like an ornament. So now what I'm going to do, now I need to cover up this side because there's a piece of the foam square coming through. So I'm just going to take one of these panels. Yeah, I'm actually going to decorate the inside of my card, which you guys, I don't think have ever seen me do. And I'm going to trim this off so that it's even, so that when they open it, they can also see that plaid going across the top as well. It's a little bit different. The colors do, the video camera is just not working, I think, with colors, but the colors really do go really well. It's very country, very simple. But again, just playing with what we have in front of us to create something just to say thank you. These are the close-ups of this project. I'm looking forward also to next month. I always do look forward because you never know what you're going to get. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. The next video that's going to come up is part 2 from the Gina K Designs. I appreciate you watching. Everything will be linked below. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love reading them and answering them. And remember, everyone, be creative.